Shalom Yasharallah, giving all praise and glory to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. As always, I'm going to start off with Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. So, I want to go to 2 Peter's, the second chapter. I'm going to start at verse 1. 2 Peter's, the second chapter, I want to start at verse 1. And it says, but there are false prophets also among the people. You hear that? So there are going to be false prophets among the people. Even as there shall be false teachers among you. So it's letting us know there's going to be false prophets also among the people. So everybody that you listen to, especially these secular, worldly, religious leaders that call themselves pastors or ministers or whatever they call themselves, that the majority of people listen to, that's been teaching our people religion, which comes from a Latin word religio, which means to hold back, keep down, and restrain. So what is it that holds you back, keep you down, and restrain you from knowing the truth, which is, we can sing it together earlier, Psalms 119, 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So it keeps you from really understanding the law of the Most High, his rules and regulations. Because you tell me a preacher or a religion, I'm going to say it over and over again until you respond. What's up? You can't respond? I know y'all, some of y'all listening to me that go to church, or you know somebody that go to church, tell them to respond and tell me that your church, your religion, your pastor or minister, whatever you call them, is teaching the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, and the ceremonial laws that the Most High wrote with his finger. Or even the days that the Israelites say they're going to commemorate in getting the victory over our enemies. You see, you got the book of Esther, the book of Judah. You see, I mean, you have different times that we got the victory over our enemies, that you're celebrating 4th of July. That's why I say, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you. You hear that? We always had false prophets among us as the Israelites, and you got false teachers that's among us. They're not teaching the truth. They're not teaching this Bible for what it's talking about. Else you would know that you're an Israelite. You would know that the Bible's talking about you. You wouldn't let no preacher tell you any different, any way, shape, or form. You would know that you're the chosen people of the Most High. Because the Most High chose you to be above all people of the earth. Think about it. We didn't invent the inventions that we invented, that most of you probably don't know because you ain't really looked into it. You know, all the way to a doorknob, the stoplight. I mean, little things, you know, like that. I mean, your cell phone, the computer, automotives. I mean, you name it. Air conditioning. I mean, everything that's convenient, we pretty much had our hand in making. Mop, bucket, broom, everything. I mean, them are little things. That's why I say this place be primitive without our inventions. That's what I say. But were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies. That's these religions, as far as I'm concerned, or prove me wrong. Damnable heresies. We learn a certain way to teach the people in slavery, to make us be a good slave. That's why you go to school, you learn how to be a good servant. You're not learning entrepreneurship. You go to school to learn how to be a good servant and work for someone else. Like I was hearing that 70,000 truckers in California, they passed a law where they can't work for themselves. They gotta work for somebody else. Isn't that slavery? Isn't that how slavery is? You gotta work for somebody else. You know, they gotta stop working for themselves and join it, or not work at all. Join it with another major company. trucking company or they came with. It's crazy, right? Who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying Mashiach Yahushua and the Most High first and foremost that brought them. Reason why I say that? Because they drew their picture as the Most High. They drew their picture, so-called white man drew his picture as the Most High. Ain't nobody talking about it, that's wrong. He drew it in the Bibles. I've showed it over and over again. He drew his picture as Mashiach Yahushua. That's a lie. Can't nobody ever prove that he looked like the picture that, the modern picture is through Warner Solomon. You see? But Michelangelo, Pope Alexander VI of Rome, had his son, Caesar Borgia, drawn as a Mashiach Yahushua. That's a long time after he was gone, right? But they had pictures. Luke was an artist. They have pictures of him. Like I said, nobody's seen him. Luke was an artist and a physician. So, you know, they have a lot of pictures that's drawn of him, different books and so forth. So, this is what they've done. Damnable heresies, even denying a Mashiach Yahushua that bought them. Now, our people, you see what I'm saying? Because our people will say, yeah, they believe that the so-called white man is coming from heaven to deliver them from the condition that the oppressor, the so-called white man, have us in now. Because we broke the laws of the Most High. But he got something for it because he said he was just a little displeased with us. And they helped forward the affliction. You see, so payback is something else. And that's what we got. From captivity to captivity to captivity to captivity is payback from the Most High because we turn our back on him. So he said, okay, I'm going to hide my face from you. Here we are now in the situation we're in now. And bring upon you, hear what he said? Even denying a Mashiach Yahushua that bought them. He paid that price, his precious blood, shed for we the children of Israel, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. You hear that? Gonna bring upon themselves swift destruction. That don't sound like a lot of love. He's gonna bring upon themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways. Like all you up in these secular religions and so forth. Most I said we're gonna serve wood and stone. We're going to captivity, being scattered among all these nations. That's why it's so hard for us to get you out of the mindset of religions. Because they did a diabolical plan in programming you to destroy you, to have you not follow the law of the Most High, his rules and regulations, and to have you to be caught up in their way. Mashiach said, I'm the way. No, they say you're going to follow our way until this day. You see, and then they train those that's going to teach us of their way to teach you of their way. That's your own people. That's Israelites. That's what it's talking about. And many shall follow their pernicious ways. These overseers, that's our people. Whipping us, doing the things that they done in slavery. Now they whipping you in the church. Tearing your mind up. And gonna bring upon themselves swift destruction from the Most High if you don't repent. And really fear the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Can't get around that. He's not the power of everybody. Mashiach didn't come here. He wasn't in the midst of everybody. He was only in the midst of we, the Israelites, period. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. Now think about it. Think in your mind. Right now. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, you look at these so-called preachers, because I say so-called because they're not dealing with the truth. Because it says, this is what we're dealing with. We all saying repent and keep the laws of the Most High. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws. We all saying that. Everybody. That's the Israelites saying that. So, if we saying that, and that is the truth, which we know, Psalms 119, 142, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So, it's saying by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. So we're evil spoken of as Israelites in telling the people they got to repent and do what the Most High say we supposed to do. So they're anti-Most High. They're anti-Hamashiach Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ. You against him. Because he didn't come here to destroy the law. Matthew, you better read your Bible. Matthew 5:17 says, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I come not to destroy, but to fulfill. You know, to one jot or one tittle shall pass from the law till all be fulfilled. You know, and you that's teaching that we not in the law, he said you're going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. But those that do and teach the law are going to be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Paraphrase. So where you stand? You're going to either be the greatest or the least. You know, either you're in or you out. You're in the kingdom or you're going to be out of the kingdom. Thrown in the lake of fire. And it's burning. It's ready. The kingdom's prepared already. The kingdom for us is prepared already. Just waiting the rest to get together. And it's in the Most High's hand. That's why it says, the truth shall be evil spoken of. You see, when brothers confronted, praised the Most High about Shemashak for brothers stepping out and dealing with, the main problem is the leaders that cause our people to err. So that's what we dealing with. You know, these leaders that's having our people in this dumb state of mind, ignorant state of mind, and dealing with breaking the Most High's laws because you're not under them. So how you going to follow them if you don't even know them? You don't know no moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, or in his holy convocations. When are you following them? You first and foremost, you breaking them when you even go to church on the first day of the week. Look at the calendar. Man, you can have a 2-year-old child say, hey, what's the first day on that calendar? I bet you they're going to point to the first day of the week that you go to church on. What you bet? 2 years old. I done seen it. This the first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, seventh day. And remember them. What day is this? Fourth day. What day is this? Fifth day. What day is that? Sixth day. But adults, y'all gonna say, oh, you can't do that because you know what? And every day of the week is named after a god, a Greek god. But you gotta do it. Most I said, don't let them come out of that guys come out of your mouth. But that's what it says. What do you say? And bring upon themselves swift destruction, and many shall follow their pernicious ways. You gotta do it. You hear it, but you're gonna dismiss it because you don't want to change. This is all about change. When the Mashiach say born again, that means you got to change your thinking, the way you think, especially now. Because you done had all these years of captivity, being in captivity on all these nations, Israelites. You done picked up all their ways, from the Egyptians to the Babylonians to the Assyrians, you name them, man. Persians, the Medes, the Arabs, you name them, man. We've been in captivity to the so-called white man, you know. And then Satan showed them, all the kingdoms of the world, and said all could be thine if you just do what? Bow down and worship me. Just what we've done. Just what we've done. Majority of the people have bowed down to their multitude of sorceries, multitude of witchcrafts. And you don't even realize it. Because you don't think right. You don't think. You're not analytical thinkers to say, wow, why is this? Why is that? And they laughing at you because they set it up that way. Look. And through covetousness shall they, this is verse 3, and through covetousness shall they with fiend words make merchandise of you. Yeah, pass the plate. Get all your money. Like Creflo Dollar said, he wasn't supposed to be collecting tithes. But he said he don't regret collecting tithes because he would be the man that he is if he didn't collect all them tithes. Because that's part of the law, you see. And we ain't under the law, but we're under grace. But grace is only to the Israelites. Understand, overstand this. Let me prove that right quick, because a lot of you just saying it, but you don't know. Remember, you're a Gentile. So the grace is not to you. Why would grace be given to you when you wasn't given the law? You see, that's why he said you're in under the law, because he said you're a Gentile. The Gentiles was not given the law. But we as Israelites, who we really are, we'll give it a love. Let me prove it to you. One scripture is in Wisdom of Solomon 3:9 and Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. Right quick. This the people saw and understood it not. Like y'all see it, all that I'm bringing out, I know, and don't see it. Neither laid they up this to their minds. This is what you got to think. That this his grace and mercy is with his saints, and that he have respect unto his chosen, right? Because he ain't got to respect the person. He got respect to his chosen, right? So he say his grace and mercy is with his saints, real quick. Who the saints? Y'all should know what scripture to prove who the saints are. I'm talking about you that's been around for some time. You should be able to know this by heart, because that's how you're going to get understanding through these scriptures. The Bible answers itself. Get understanding through these precepts. Psalms 148 and 14 proves who the saints are. Psalms 148:14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints. So his people are his saints. Who are we? Even of the children of Israel. Who are we? A people near unto the Most High. Praise ye the Most High. So the saints are the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. So you can't be under grace and you're a Gentile. You see that? Because it said, what did it say? Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. This the people saw and understood it not. Neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy. Grace is getting something you don't deserve. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve. Is with his saints. You hear that? It's with his saints. With the children of Israel. Grace and mercy is only with the children of Israel. And he had respect unto his chosen. So who we say he had respect to? Exodus 2:25. Exodus 2:25. And the Most High looked upon the children of Israel, and our Most High had respect unto them. You see? No matter where you go, it's going to be the children of Israel. He had respect unto his chosen. Who is chosen? Deuteronomy 7:6. Deuteronomy 1:1 is speaking to the children of Israel. It says, but thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power. Your power. Yours is a personal possessive pronoun. Even though it say thy, is still a possessive pronoun showing ownership. The Most High thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. How special? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. There it is. So these are the things that, like I'm saying, you have to understand. These are damnable heresies, these religions. Or you should be able to tell me that your religion is keeping the Most High Sabbath day correctly. They're not buying and selling, cooking, and doing the things that you're not supposed to do on his day. It's his day. All you're supposed to be doing is being in his word. Dealing with him. You know, dealing with this word. This is his word. His day. Going back to 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter. It said, and through covetousness, want everything that you got, shall they with vain words make merchandise of you. Hear that? Make merchandise of you. I mean, the church is supposed to be set up to help the people. Once you take care of the responsibilities that the church needs, then you're supposed to be helping the people. But they make a merchandise of the people, like where the pastors riding around in Rolls Royces and Bentleys and so forth. You got people that don't even have diaper money, don't have money to feed their baby their milk. We talk about milk for their babies. No food. And they still asking for their money. And getting merchandise of you. They got ATM machines in the churches. Some say if you don't have no $100 to give, you don't even need to be here. I've heard this. I've heard them say, come down and get in the middle aisle and give me $100. Whose judgment, because there's a payback. Judgment is a punishment from the Most High. Through a Mashiach Yahushua when he come to judge and make war, or before that. You don't know when he gonna bring his judgment, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not. Lingereth not. And their damnation slumbereth not. Understand this, overstand this. It's very, very important. But you gotta understand, as we are continually growing in this truth with solutions that he's given in these last days, whether you listen, whether you hear or forbear. Because we have so much in our living from the beginning of time to now offended the Most High, that we got to look at how we offend him. I don't think people think enough of him to really look at having a conversation about him and how we have offended him. I never hear that. I hear about people's lives. I hear about how he came through for them. Praise ye the Most High, hallelujah, this, that, the third. But I never hear about how wicked we are. How wretched we are in the way we dealt with him. So I wonder if people really think that they've done enough to make it to the kingdom, or they've done enough to make it through Jacob's trouble. The things that are going to go down on this earth when it hit home. Because it's like, who really cares? Who really cares? Why should he come to defend us when our conversation is all about ourselves? Even though there are those that listen and have listened and been listening and don't get it. Don't get it. Because you have everything, every day is a new day, and every day something being put in the books for us or against us. Look at verse 9. The Most High knoweth how to deliver the righteous out of temptations. Remember we say when you come to serve the Most High in Ecclesiastes 2:1, prepare thyself for temptation. So when you come to serve the Most High, you got to prepare yourself for the devil. He's always there trying to manipulate something or in someone to have you think wrong. That's why Ecclesiastes 3:24 says what? For many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Worthless thinking. Thinking wrong. And in evil, which is the devil, suspicion overthrowing their judgment. Make them make the wrong judgment. The wrong decision in their thinking. That's why I say, the Most High knoweth how to deliver the righteous out of temptations. He know how to deliver you from the wiles of the devil when you in the spirit. And put it like this, it's like people pray, all of us pray, but why should he really, really come through when you don't have nothing to say about him hardly? How do you really love someone that you never talk about? I'm trying to figure that out. How do you really say I love the Most High and he's not in your vocabulary? He's not in, you don't talk about him. If you talk about him too much, then it's vexing to people. Then you look at, well, they're not really about you, Most High. He's saying that, them angels is reporting on that. See, that's what you got to understand. Everything we do is being recorded and reported and put in the books. That's why I say the Most High know how to deliver the righteous out of temptations and to reserve the unjust, which is the unrighteous, until the day of judgment to be punished. You see? But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness. Walking after the flesh, those are feelings, emotions, and all the things that you deal with that you've been programmed to think from slavery until now. You've been programmed. Your brain been polluted to think wrong. That's why it's hard for you to get this. A lot of people to get this and change and really be born again. Become a new creature, become a new man, a new woman. Because you've been programmed. And your programming is so, to the point where they ain't have to put no chip in you to say turn anything on. They already got you. You are already naturally the way they would have you to be being born in this world. Now, would you think the devil started in the garden? You think he ain't been working all the way till now? You think he ain't got all kind of ways and moves to do that you ain't even aware of? That's why I say many are deceived by their own vain opinion, worthless thinking, and an evil suspicion overthrown their judgment. Evil comes in and make you make the wrong judgment. And most of the time it's about being away from the Most High. You don't want to talk about spiritual things that's really, really going to help you in life, especially during the times that we get ready to go through. Y'all better understand. I got to keep reminding you what you going to do when it comes to your way. You ready? Because Masha Shai said this. That's why I be trying to warn you. He said this, Matthew 24:21. Maybe y'all ain't here the first time or the second time. It say, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. That's a lot of hell on this earth for us. There ain't never been like this. Say, or ever will be. And except those days should be shortened. The days we in now, he said, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But I thought y'all already saved. He said, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But y'all say y'all saved already in the churches, right? But he said if those days wasn't short that we in now, say would be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. For the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel, the day is going to be shortened. So, I don't know, I don't understand how y'all keep saying y'all saved when y'all go to church, but then he said, Matthew 24:13 says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. But you can't endure in wickedness. You can't endure in doing the things that's contrary to the Most High. When he's telling you in 2 Peter 2:9, he said the Most High knoweth how to deliver the righteous out of temptations and to reserve the unjust, those that are not following the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, like all of you, unless you could tell me that your religion is keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, and the days that we said we're going to keep for the salvation that the Most High gave us over our enemies. You know, powers and authority over our enemies. Which days are those? And when do they fall? From the first of the year, our first of the year, to the end of our year. Because it don't start at 1/1 any year. The first day of Esau's, what they call New Year's, that's not the first day of the year. That's why you got April Fool's Day. You got the fourth month, the first day, April Fool's Day. He got you, man. Anywhere you want to go, he got you all twisted in the way he have everything set up to be contrary to what you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be conducting yourself before the Most High. It says, and to reserve the unrighteous unto the day of judgment for what? To be punished. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh and the lust of uncleanness and despise government, presumptuous are they. Presumptuous are they. Self-willed, Self-will, what you think that is? Prideful as ever, you know. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities, whereas angels, listen at this, y'all, closely, whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, angels are greater in power and might, bring not rarely an accusation against them before the Most High. Hear that? But these, as natural brute beasts, y'all talk about we had to fight beasts. We had to fight these brute beasts. We still got to deal with it. But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed. You hear that? Is this part of you? You are natural brute beasts? Because he said he made to be taken and destroyed. Speak evil of the things that they understand not. See, that's what, remember I told you how in verse 2, how by reason of whom the way of truth, the laws of the Most High, shall be evil spoken of. So he come back here and say, but as natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not. Because most these pastors and preachers, they don't understand this Bible. And if they do, they still got to hold on to what it is that their decree says that their religion is bringing forth. They have to follow a certain guideline or they be disfellowship. But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. You hear that? That's why I be warning you. I'm not so hard on these pork chop eating preachers, but hey, it's all about love, that the Most High loved Jacob. But he don't love you if you don't do what he wants you to do. His rules and regulations. You the enemy of the Most High. You the haters of the Most High. Right with those nations that are haters and the enemies of the Most High. You right along with them. Because you're going to be thrown in the lake of fire with them. You got a choice to choose life or death. That death is a lake of fire, yo. And life is everlasting life. Or a remnant to be able to go into the kingdom and be set in the place where you're going to be at in our kingdom as the Israelites, Most High will, to perform your duties in a righteous kingdom. Everybody should want to be in a righteous kingdom under the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. You ain't none of these oppressive people. Well, I don't say people, I say, because Most High say he's going to put us under no people. So I don't know what they are, but he said no people in a foolish nation. So y'all figure out what they are. Anyway, I mean, it's got to be better than this. If you love this, then hey, you're going to go down with it. But it's going to be a remnant of all nations that's going to be working in the kingdom. I'll say that. Like you working now, only it's going to be in a righteous kingdom. Man, you ain't got to worry about nobody breaking in your house. Ain't gonna be no more killing, no more murder, no more stealing, no more criminal acts at all. It said we're gonna be all righteous. And it's gonna be the law of the Most High. So you do this, you put to death. You other nations, you do whatever, you got to learn right to be with the Most High. You're gonna be right. You're wrong, hey, ain't gonna be no, that mercy and grace gonna be lifted off before you get up out of here. Believe this. What you think, you come back to judge and make war and you're gonna have leniency? There ain't no leniency. Once that judgment come, it's about the books being open. They say the book's gonna be open, and what you do, you did this, you did that, boom. You either made it to life or death, Israel. And your nation's gonna take a remnant of you to work in the kingdom, like you working now. It's going to be a righteous kingdom, though. Ain't nothing that you can imagine. Our minds can't imagine the kingdom because we're in a concrete jungle. But it says in verse 12, but these as natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime. Spots they are to the Most High, and blemishes they are to the Most High, sporting themselves with their own devisings while they feast with you. Sitting there, let's sit down and have this Christmas dinner. Well, that's in the Bible. Where your religion at in the Bible? Let's sit down and have this Thanksgiving, or they call it Thanksgiving, when nothing was given, everything was taken. Dinner, while they feast with you, with their own deceivings, sitting out telling them lies while they feast with you. Or they will be telling you the holy convocations. You should know them by heart. You Israelites should know them by heart too. From the first of the year to the end of the year. Our first of the year to the end of the year. You should know them just like you know Esau's holidays. Bam, you should be able to name them right after another. Having eyes full of adultery. I mean, that's going all up in the church and in the world. You know, men sleeping with other men's women. That's big time. Women married, going outside their marriage and sleeping with other men. That's why the world is all jacked up. And that cannot cease from sin. You hear that? And cannot cease from sin. Don't tell me about sin. I don't hear about no law. That's why I say it so much, because I know it vexes you. They're the Most High's law that he wrote with his finger. So you vex with the Most High, not me. You better think about it. He said, I will melt you. But you think he can't do that to you because you don't fear him, right? You going to fear him before it's over, though. Because he's going to shake your world. Like he just said. What he said? Verse 2, he says, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. And by it being evil spoken of, he said what? That'll make you unrighteous, he said. And to reserve the unjust, in verse 9, the unrighteous, unto the day of judgment to be punished. Better hear this, y'all. This is serious. Going back to verse 14, having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin. They can't cease from sin. They got to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Then the Most High be vexing them. This happened to him. That happened to him. This happened to him. He get us all different ways, man. You better recognize him. Beguiling unstable souls. Fooling other unstable souls, man. Like a lot of y'all simple. That's why the Most High said, how long you simple ones when you love simplicity. That's why I say beguiling unstable souls. In heart or mind, they have exercised with covetous practices, cursed children. You hear that? Call you cursed children. Not children that's going to be blessed, but cursed children. And all you that's following the ones that's the cursed children, the leaders that's cursed children, you're going to be the same way. The least of the kingdom of heaven, which have forsaken the right way. Myself shall say, I'm the way. To show you how to follow the truth, which is the laws of the Most High, that's going to lead to everlasting life. That's what he's talking about when he's giving us that in John 14:6. That's why I understand why people so against him, when all he talked about was what he had to go by. The law and the prophets, that's all. Which have forsaken the right way, keeping the laws of the Most High, fearing the Most High first and foremost, being afraid, being scared of him, talking about it, boasting about him. His name is jealous. So when you look at who's more important, you or him? He's just important for Mashiach Shai, for you that believe in the Mashiach Shai, to go to the Most High, be an errand boy, to go to the Most High for you to bring back what you want. And when you got it, hallelujah, hallelujah. But what about whenever it ain't right? You still hallelujah unto the Most High, praise the Most High, praise the Most High for when there's bad things happening? Or you just praying to him, help me, help me, help me, help me? You see? He the one that dealing with us. You know, who he love, he chastens. So how much he got to chasten us? He said, in our affliction, we going to seek him early. He said, which have forsaken the right way and are gone astray, following the way of that idol, Balaam, the son of Bosor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. You can't say you righteous and you say, I tell you this is wrong, and you say, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway. And even though you don't say it, you do it, you still, what did it say? And that cannot cease from sin. You cannot cease from sin, which is the transgression of the Most High's laws. 1 John 3 and 4. That's why when you New Testament people, all of y'all said, we ain't under the law. Laws, the sin is defined in the New Testament that you believe in. So-called believe it because you don't know it. Or you coming in and bring forth what you do know. Just show me that you are keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, the laws that the Most High wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High. And you say you believe in him. Who's your power? His name ain't God. Now, that's a new word, one of the newest words that was created. That's dog spelled backwards. Check it out. That's a European invention. Dog spelled backwards. We call them as individual dog, Edomites, and I can prove it. And as a multitude, we call them dogs. So they took dog and took it, spell it backwards. You got God. Like you got Santa Claus, right? What is that, Santa Claus? What's it? C-L-A-U-S-E. What's that? But I know you can move the letters over. You got Satan Claus. Satan Claus. But see, I ain't thought about it like that. And that's what it's dealing with. It's not dealing with the Most High. Hamashiach Yahushua definitely wasn't born on the 12th month, the 25th day. You know, that day brings sadness to me. Because that's the day that they killed the women, that circumcised the boys, and drug them around the city and hung the children by their breasts and so forth. As Greeks did. Yeah, it's in the Bible. Cut the little boys' heads off, the children's heads off, and put them on them trees that y'all putting bulbs on the trees. It was our children's heads. Yeah. On 12/25. 12th month, the 25th day. So it's not something that is so enjoyable when you look at and think about what these scriptures say in our story, I might say, our story. It's not something that you're looking at, you're going to be overwhelmed with. Everybody's celebrating. Don't know nothing about no human sacrifices. Don't know nothing about what they doing on y'all holidays. Because you're just following traditions of men. You bunch of robots and robotees. You following what he said. The way of Balaam, the son of Bosor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. And that's what you're dealing with. That's what you're dealing with. But understand, when you read this New Testament, that's all they had to go by was the law and the prophets. I wish I could instill that in your minds, because people looking at a New Testament, the people that walked the earth during the time that we read here, Peter and Paul, Hamashiach Yahushua, you name, they only had the law and the prophets. That's all. That's why he's going back to Balaam, the son of Bosor. That's some of the past that we had to deal with, that they're still dealing with, and still to today. But was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumb ass speaking with man's voice forbade the madness of the prophet. Trying to go through, and the angel was there to slice him up. But the ass seen it. But when they speak great holy words of vanity, hear that? They speak very well. Talking about you pork chop eating preachers, especially you mega church preachers, speaking very well. You got everybody's attention. But it's words of vanity. You hear that? Words of vanity. Most I ain't dealing with you. Some of y'all praying to yourself. They're words of vanity. This is it. This is your consolation right here. Y'all better understand. I'm here to warn you. Say, for when they speak great spoiling words of vanity, that means it's good for nothing. They allure through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error. You hear that? Who live in error. They've been, think about it. You've been taught, a lot of you probably still have problem coming out of the way you were taught in going to these religious institutions or these religious denominations, demons and nations. That's what it is. Like Santa, Satan, denominations, demon and nations. I mean, but they laughing at you as you operating in your religious institutions that they control. You can't say they don't control it, because if that was the case, then you should be able to look at trying to prove what I'm saying wrong and showing me that your religion is keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, which they gave us laws. And that you were taught that from a child. You were taught that once you heard it, you started to learn it, live it and apply it in your life. If not, then hey, you deal with unrighteousness. This is real, as real could be. You love the wages of unrighteousness. These are wells without water, clouds that are carried with a tempest, with fire, to whom the mist of darkness is reserved forever. You know, the mist of darkness, the mist of ignorance is reserved forever. That's why some people, they're not going to get this. They're not, Most High and the Most High don't want you to get this. You got to be somebody that's going to be reserved for the fire. 2/3 of our people, that's the 12 tribes of Israel, and most of the majority of the nations. You're going to have a remnant of every nation, though. You know, we tell you, those that don't want to serve are going to perish. They're going to be utterly wasted. Isaiah 60:12. So, you got a choice. To either be in the midst of darkness and be reserved forever, forever and ever and ever and ever. Man. Look, verse 19, it says, I love it, chapter 6, while they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption. You hear that? While they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption. How you corrupt? How you think they corrupt? You think about, how are these preachers corrupt? Remember what it said? But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies. See? Damnable heresies. That's why he said, what they said is vain, worthless, even denying of Mashiach Yahushua, first and foremost, the Most High and of Mashiach Yahushua that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. So what you think you're going to get? If you following these false teachers that are among you, that's going to bring upon themselves swift destruction, hey, don't get it twisted. Go to Jeremiah 23:1 for 1. I just went through Malachi, the 2nd chapter. It's talking about false prophets. I just did a lesson on that. Jeremiah 23:1. It says, whoa, that means destruction. To who? Unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pastors, said the Most High. That's what the Most High tells you. Destruction to you. Pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pastors, said the Most High. Therefore, thus said the Most High, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away. Driven them away for what? You scattered them. We already been scattered among all these nations. He said we'll serve wood and stone, and you represent us continue to operate and worship wood and stone. Therefore, thus say the Most High. This the Most High, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people, that stand in front of the Israelites and tell them that they Gentiles. You have just scattered my flock. You made them scatterbrained. They don't know what's going on. And once they come out of church, they represent what it is that you said. What you say, buy the tape? Or they regurgitate what you say, because you ain't have precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, there a little for different topics you deal with. You just run your mouth. So they got to regurgitate what you say. Here, y'all better be taking notes. Listen. You have scattered my flock and driven them away. Driven them away from what? Driven them away from the Most High. Driven them away from a Mashiach Yahushai. Driven them away from His truth, His laws, His righteousness, which is His laws and commandments, to some religion, no matter what it is, and have not visited them with the correct understanding of what the Most High would have us to do. Behold, this is from the Most High, that I is the Most High, will visit upon you the evil of your doings. Who's saying this? Said the Most High. That's why I've been warning you. You're not going to get away with what it is that y'all been doing. And all you that call yourself being in the truth, and you're I don't understand nobody say that anyway, because the truth is the laws of the Most High. So all you that's been call yourself, you have started to learn, and you went backwards. You went backwards to me if you went back to any religion. He got this for you. Go back to 2 Peter 2:20. And any of you that have been learning what this Bible is talking about, and you walked away from it, you went back to some religion or your religious ways from where you came from, or where you found after you was taught the true unadulterated truth. 2 Peter 2:20 says, for if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world. Yeah. So how the Most High gonna love the world when He called the world polluted? The pollutions of the world. No pollution, the filthy nastiness of the world. You done escape the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Most High and Savior, Mashiach Yahushai. They are again entangled therein. You go back. Most High done brought you out of the pollutions of the world.